Ladies and gentlemen, Saunch here. Welcome back to yet another installment here on the Bodybuilding News Network. Totoro is with us on the desk for today's installment of Bodybuilding Today, episode 178. We're going to be talking about Rafael Brandao, Kamal Elgargni Rafael Bajjo, William Bonac, and Andrea Shaw potentially showing up at this year's Wings of Strength competition, the Rising Phoenix. So if you're interested in those topics, definitely stay tuned. But let's go ahead and start off with Rafael Brandao. Now, if you do not know and you're new to the channel, Rafael Brandao, one of my favorite men's open bodybuilding physiques in the circuit. Between him and the late Cedric McMillan and, sometimes even debatably Hunter Labrada are some of the many, actually, this year's, there's been a lot of actually really aesthetic people coming in. Andrew Jacked has popped in. Blessing Owodabu has popped in. There's a lot of gentlemen in the men's open bodybuilding division that are very aesthetic, very classic with mass. You know, they have that class, but they have that freaky mass. The class and freaky mass. Anyway, anyways, I had a bang on the way home from work today, so I'm feeling it. But Rafael Brandao coming into the Olympia this year, just under 9 weeks out. He's been pretty much under the radar, not really talking too much about his physique, not showing any physique updates. You know, he shows pictures of his girlfriend or his wife, and that's about it. You know, the last time we got a physique update was from September 6th, where we got, for the most part, a full routine and physique update all the way down to his skibbies of what he's looking like. You know, that's probably 15 weeks out from the Olympia. Now, I would love to know what he's looking like right now and how much of that muscle he's been able to hold on to coming into this prep. And definitely, where is he going to be landing in this year's Olympia? There's, like I said, so many phenomenal physiques, so many classic yet mass physiques in this bodybuilding division in the open for this Olympia. I am wondering where he's going to land. But of course, let me know your thoughts on Rafael Brandao and his potential placings at this year's Olympia in the comment sections below. Now, talking about 212, Kamal Elgargni is going to be by far, in my opinion, the favorite to reclaim the 212 title. You think about Sean Clarita going to open. You think about Derek Lunsford going to open. That's the top two gentlemen leaving that division to go into men's open bodybuilding. That, in my opinion, leaves a complete door wide open for Kamal to clench his second 212 Olympia title. Now, there is going to be some conversation from the next gentleman that we're going to be talking about, but I like what I'm seeing from Kamal. Him doing all those open shows this year. I liked what I saw from that. Him being able to put on just a little bit of, or retain just a little bit of extra muscle, a little bit extra mass for those open, non-weight restricted shows. I thought was a great move from him. I thought he brought a great package, great presentation to those shows. Not the best conditioning we've ever seen from him, but in my opinion, when you look at his 212 versus open, I think that they're somewhat comparable. Obviously, the 212 is going to be diced to the socks, super hard, super lean, but I still thought it was a very good presentation from him, and I'm very excited to see him battle it out with potentially someone who could land in the top 1 to 6 here. In my opinion, Kerrith Bajjo has been sharing some phenomenal physique updates just one day ago, being 9 weeks out from the 212 Olympia. Kerrith Bajjo last year won the Tampa Pro, and this year won the Texas Pro in the 212, and he is definitely setting himself apart. He's separating himself apart from the pack of tier 2 bodybuilders and moving into that tier 1 elite tier of 212 competitors. Now, my question to you is, where do you think he's going to be landing in this lineup? You think about people that aren't going to be in the 212 in the top. You don't have people like Nathan Epler just confirmed. I talked about him last night, actually, or this morning. I talked about him. He, on one of the comments, said absolutely not. He's done with the 212. So he is 100% an open bodybuilder now, which opens up that 5th place finish spot for potentially Kerrith Bajjo. If he comes in proper, you have someone like Keon Pearson could be landing in that top 6. And then also Angel Calderon, a top 3 or 4. he is also doing the open from what I've heard. So really the top 6 in the 212 is going to be really, really open this year. And I think it's going to be very exciting. So do not sleep on the live stream this year, especially for the 212. The open, I think, is going to be pretty much copy paste the same. You know, someone like Hunter and someone like Brandon, they might get kicked out of that top 4 and move lower down. But beyond that, I think it's going to stay relatively the same. But of course, let me know your thoughts on Olympia predictions in the comment sections below. 2 more stories. William Bonac sharing some more physique updates coming into his return to the Olympia stage. Did not do too well last year. And then, he had some issues with this gynecomastia at the Arnold Classic. He has since corrected that, and it looks like he's coming in old form of his mass monster self, really allowing himself to continue to pack on the muscle and also regain some of the muscle that he lost over the years. I think it was in 2021 wasn't the best package from him. I'm just noticing he looks like he signed a new contract with Yava Labs, not someone I am familiar with. I know he was a SciTech guy forever. So it looks like he's switching over to this smaller brand. I'm not too familiar, but I'll give him a plug nonetheless. But I'm excited to see Bonac land in that top 6. I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. Every year, these newer and younger guys are just coming into this lineup, and it's just so competitive. It's so stacked with talent. If you are just a little bit off, you're outside the top 10, in my opinion. Unless politics plays its favor like it normally does, some of these guys are not going to be in that top 10. I think I would be pointing to people like Akeem Williams. If he does not show up proper, he is out of the top 10. I don't care how big he is or what sponsors he has or whatever. It's not going to happen if he does not come 100%. So keep that in mind. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on the open lineup, but let's finish it up with the Wings of Strength, the premier league for women's athletics and women's bodybuilding. The Rising Phoenix is the world championship for women's bodybuilding, and it is just under 4 weeks out. November 5th is when that show is going to be kicking off. My question is, Andrea Shaw, are you going to be competing at the Wings of Strength, the Rising Phoenix? Are you going to be defending that title as well as your Miss Olympia title at this year's Olympia in December? I'd love to hear the lineup. If I can get any kind of sneak peeks on the Rising Phoenix lineup for the women's bodybuilding, please comment down below if you know anyone who's going there. But that is pretty much it. I want to keep it short and simple. I'm going to keep these videos pumping out. Looks like you guys and gals are really enjoying these Bodybuilding Today episodes. So stay tuned for another installment tomorrow morning. But I hope you enjoy this one. Consider subscribing if you enjoy this style of content. Check out the most recent podcast with Abby Bolton and Lauren Calderon. We talked about fitness, figure, and all things women bodybuilding and foundational fitness. So if you're interested in that type of content, definitely check that out. Leave a like and let me know comments and questions for the next installment of Abby and Lauren featuring a special guest. So stay tuned for that. But that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.